What's going on, everybody? We back. Another episode from the Worthy Network. And we here to do it big. We're here to keep on going, man. I appreciate all the support and all the love that I've been getting. It really makes me feel good. Don't stop applauding. Clap it up. Clap it up because we here. Clap it up because you're worthy. You woke up this morning. But enough of that. How's everybody doing out there? So today I wanted to bring a different perspective, to the network. I've been showing a lot of political videos from, some people that I like to watch in my off time, little hobbies that I have. But one of the main things that I get into is empowerment, motivation, self-help. It means a lot to me to always be an optimistic person. Everywhere I go, everything I do, I try to remain positive, even in negative moments. And I've been through a lot in my life. And through every trial and tribulation, I always stayed positive. And I always knew that it was a way out of the situation that I was in. But that's not the situation for every single person. Everybody doesn't calculate life, on the same terms. So there's a bunch of different perspectives out there, a bunch of different thought processes, and people who just think differently, adversely from what you may think. And it's all for good reason. You ever heard of Product of My Environment? Jim Jones had an album called Hustler's Poem. I really like that one. But being a product of your environment, it could change your whole physiology, your whole being. Growing up in a destitute area sometimes can lead to thoughts that are the same way. A feeling of being in jail when you're not even incarcerated. So I just try to think above all of that. I try to keep myself worthy. I call myself worthy because I feel like I am. I have self-worth and self-value, and you do too. And if you don't see it, you're going to see it. Keep rocking with me. Keep rocking with me. So on today's episode, we got somebody named Stevie Briggs. He was a football player. I just came across him recently, but I like some of the things that he talks about and some of the topics that he discusses. And today, in this one, he's talking about the power that's within you. And that's real big to me, because where does the source of power come from? Some people can believe it comes from having faith in their higher power. Some people believe that power is in them. What do you do? Do you work out? Do you meditate? Do you just absorb everything around you, just reading and trying to pick up every little inkling of a intelligence everywhere that it is? Where does power come from? I will say that true power comes from within. And if you have to exert power, then you don't have it anymore, right? Wasted potential, wasted energy, right? Because energy is not what's released, but what's stored. And you have to let that sink in, man. You might have to let that sink in and think about what that means, because if you have to exert a lot of energy to get to the goal, there's nothing wrong with that. But, the true preservation of keeping your energy sacred and keeping it within you is the better way to go about that course. And how do you do that, right? You have to navigate these things mentally, spiritually, to get to a point, to get to somewhere where you are able to attack life from those levels. I like to look at Maslow's hierarchy, and it's a pyramid, and it shows, development in life. And the bottom of that pyramid is food, clothing, and shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter, right? You cannot move on to the next level of life, of survival or anything, if you're still functioning on the lower level. If you have to wonder where your food is coming from each day, then you're struggling. So how can I give you love, or give the next person love, or focus on family, or work my way up to pyramid to self-actualization, being at the top, if I can't even provide basic needs for myself? So I know I'm kind of going on, and I ain't even get into the episode yet, but it really means a lot to me. This is really what I do it for, regardless of who's watching, regardless of how many people support me. I do not care. I'm doing this because I like to do it. I'm doing this because it's something inside of me that I want to give to everybody else, and that's just my perspective, right? We're watching and reviewing videos and just going over it. So thank y'all for rocking with me. For those people who stay for my thoughts and my opinion, it's really appreciated here on the Worthy Network. But with no further ado, we're gonna get into this with Stevie Briggs being interviewed by the Big Facts podcast, and just let's listen to him work, man. He's a surgeon. Let's listen to this guy work. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit, and let's get into it.
And so we got 9 after-school programs in the city of Atlanta alone. So we with the City of Atlanta Parks and Recs, and we with APS.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, and so we just using the platform. We got a curriculum called True Wealth, and we teach the students everything they won't get in the traditional education system. So credit, how to grow food.
All the shit they really need, basically.
Shit they need.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And because you can go to university and not learn shit about the universe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can go to college and don't get no knowledge. And
Isn't
that's
that
really,
ironic?
That's what it is, because they teach you to be a sheep and not a boss. Yeah. You got a master's degree but no knowledge of the master or how to master yourself.
So let me ask you a question while we're talking about this real quick. I was like catching up on some of your stuff, and I saw on one of your videos where you were having a conversation with this young lady, and basically you were telling her that she attracts, how am I saying it? I'm trying to make sure I'm saying it the right way. That she attracts what she is, because most people think it's the other way around.
Listen to this part right
I want
here.
you to just kind of like talk about that and tap into that, and exactly like what did you mean by that?
Yeah. A lot of people take credit for when something good happened. Boy, I got it out the mud. You see, it was me.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing when something bad happens. You attracted that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you attract who and what you are at all times of your life. And so for me, when it comes to relationships, the only reason you in a relationship is because you have to relate to that person in some kind of way. You see what I'm saying? The only reason you're in a partnership is you parts of your ship is connected to the parts of their ship for a reason. A ship, a ship brings things to and from. So if the things on your ship don't connect to the things on my ship, we can't have
That's
a partnership.
strong right there.
You know what I'm saying? Relationship, because all the energy is in the words.
Right.
Everything is in the words, and the words will tell you everything that's going on. Yeah. So you attract who and what you are. A magnet don't.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. Good or bad. And you ain't got to go out of your way to do it. It's going to come to you. Now, when you start evolving, because I know a lot of people say, I'm a healer, so I attract people who need to be healed. But no, you need to be healed too. You still need to be healed. That's why you continue to attract what? I don't attract no bad in my life. I don't attract no bad. I only attract good. I only attract opulence. And now, if you continue to say that and you continue to know that and believe that, that become your reality. But if you, I keep attracting these fuck niggas. Well, baby girl, that might be what you are.
A fuck nigga.
Come on.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built.
God.
At what point in your journey did you learn that though? Because I'm gonna be honest, as a teenager, I didn't know that. In my 20s, I didn't know that. I probably didn't learn that to my 30s.
Man, bro, I still learn that every day. Every day is an opportunity for me to do self-inventory. I'm not sitting up here on a soapbox. You feel me? I got my own shit I got to deal with every day. But self-inventory, self-discovery, self-realization.
Self-inventory, that's a big word.
Because it's in.
Yeah.
Everybody keep looking without. They don't look within. And when you go within, then you will never be without. But if you keep saying it's everybody else's fault that you in this situation, my baby mama went crazy. She was crazy before I dropped dick in her. I was the one who was out of alignment and not grounded to say I should have been with a woman who processed information exactly like me. That girl ain't crazy. She who she is. You know,
she align with something else. She don't align with you. You trying to force yourself to align with this shit.
And as long as you force something, you know it's not gonna ever flow. The Most High don't force you to take a breath, my nigga. You just breathe in and breathe out. It's not a force, it's a flow. Anytime you gotta force something in your life, you know it's not supposed to be there.
Facts.
That's real. And then you know, as men, I always say we get caught up in thinking below the waist as opposed to above the waist. You gonna like this, Bank. Bank like when I do that word. That's my dog. Most men are concerned with semen.
Right.
Instead of being able to see men. And if you don't focus on being able to see men, you're gonna put your C-man in a D-man.
Boy, dropping them bars today, man.
That's real shit though, Screen.
I barely be able to ask this nigga question because you be dropping that shit. We did Perspective.
Yeah.
Did you watch?
Yeah, half of it, about half of it.
He went crazy, man. We were talking about the most I think the clip that we put out when you were speaking on the Bible, the allegory.
Religious, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that shit real, man. It's all like I said, it's all in the words, bro. Those stories in the Bible didn't really happen. I hate to bust y'all bubble, y'all. It didn't really happen. It's allegory, it's folklore, it's parables, it's similes, it's metaphors. You know what I'm saying? And they say, well, it happened because it was inspired by God. Well, I've written 2 books, Greater Than the Game and Woke. And if y'all believe everything that I put in my book, man, please go pick it up right now. You're not gonna do everything that somebody put in a book that a man wrote down. What we talking about? David and Goliath. One day he killed the actual giant. He had to kill the giant in his mind called lust. The giant in his mind called procrastination or fear. That's the giant he had to slay to move on to a new level in his life. But you know, we were talking about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego not being in a fiery furnace. They had to burn some things off in their life till they go to another level. You know what I'm saying? And so like Jonah was not in a well, y'all, for 3 days. What are we talking about? A well esophagus ain't even big enough to swallow most humans.
That's what, RZA was just saying that on Drink Champs.
But
Same
so
thing.
let me ask you something. So does that mean that it's just a book?
It's just a book. And it's a very powerful book now.
You saying basically you can learn the obstacles of life, but it ain't. Is it something that you're supposed to believe and worship? Is what I'm asking.
I don't believe in worship nothing that is outside of me. Nothing. Especially that another man made. That's the most asinine thing on the planet, bro.
So you not religious, you spiritual?
Yes, I go to the gym religiously. I ride my bike religiously. You play golf religiously. But I don't believe in an external deity that is a boogeyman that's gonna do something to me. Now I know the Most High real. I don't believe or have faith in God. I don't. But I know God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because anything you don't, anything you believe in, you don't really know it.
Yeah.
You don't believe you're a woman, you fucking know it.
Yeah.
Cold.
So how you gonna not know the creator that created you then?
Cold.
If you know who you are.
Cold.
Yeah.
Anybody's telling you that, they fucking playing with you.
Fuck believing, no.
You got it. Bro, look at the word, be lie. You be lied to. Belief is a lie. In the middle of the word, belief is lie. The words give you the power. You feel me?
How did you learn all this shit?
Bro, it's nothing but a gift. I hated the English language because the English language is so full of ambiguity. It's like a serpent. It going between the truth and the lie. See, if somebody tell you the truth, it's straight as an arrow. But if I say bear, you don't know if I'm talking about the grizzly bear or bearing arms. If I say here, am I talking about my ears or my presence? You see what I'm saying? If I say two, am I saying T-O, T-O-O, or T-W-O? The English language, you can say one word and it can mean so many different things.
It's a bunch of gray areas.
It's too much gray. And like in Hebrew, a language like Hebrew is not a writing, it's just a writing utensil. It's not a pen, a marker, you know what I'm saying? A pencil. It's just a writing utensil. So it's no gray areas. It's just that. You know what I'm saying? And when you get something that's straight as an arrow, now you can get to the root of it. Yeah. I use the Bible a lot because most people, and I use the Al-Quran. I use the Quran and the Bible and any other spiritual teachings. Mitra, Krishna, Buddha, Dalai Lama, all these different, Yeshua, all these different deities are all allegory of the S-U-N, the sun. They say God's son is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus, right? That's what I grew up on, I should say. But until I found out that they were talking about the S-U-N.
Now he getting into it.
If the sun don't shine, you have no way.
Now he getting into it.
And you have no life because nothing grows without the sun.
Nothing.
When you see God's son walking on the water, they told you it was Jesus, but when you go to the beach and you see the sun reflecting off the water, that's God's son walking on the water. They just told you it was Jesus. It's all, Jesus is Jesus. Jesus. That's why they spell it in Spanish. It's Jesus is spelled Jesus. In English, it's the same spelling in English, because it comes from the mythological Greek mythology of hell, Zeus. See what I'm saying? All of it is based on mythology. We've been taught to look at God from a mythological perspective as opposed to a real perspective. You know, God,
how you feel about that?
You are the Lord God Almighty of your reality. Y'all, us, right now, we all created this reality right now that we in. We created it somehow, some way. Now, I'm not saying that you're the Lord God Almighty who created the heavens and earth, who created oxygen, who created the ocean to go back and forth, but you are the Lord God of your reality.
Hey, man. Let's get into it. It's up. Yo, he did his thing on that one, man. And this podcast is an hour and 10 minutes long. He went crazy on that. How'd you guys feel about that? He dropped a lot of jewels, and I didn't want to keep it going. Because just time. I don't, people's time is valuable, and everybody don't have the opportunity to sit down for such a long time to break down, all the jewels that you get. So just a little trinket, just a little something for you to digest for the time being. But hey, Steve, you did your thing, Stevie. You did your thing, man, because when he started talking about like the Bible being allegorical, that's right in my lane, man. I spent many years like reading and I want to say studying the Bible, but I not so in depth like how a pastor might know it. But from a young age, I immediately knew that these stories were not true stories and that there was deeper meanings to this stuff, and it gave me a deeper understanding of the world around me. So some of the first things that I read, especially like some nights of my time in my youth, man, I used to just read so many books. And, I read the Bible, I read the Quran, started getting into Judaism and you just reading some of their beliefs and reading the Torah. And so, like you said, man, once I learned that Jesus was allegorical for the actual sun, it was a wrap. I'm into astrology crazy, but that just gave me more further validation. And in the Bible, it says, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." You can also say, "As above, so below," right? Everything that's up is down, in between, every left has a right. So just getting into some of these principles, which called the Hermetic principles, really gave me a deeper understanding of who I am as self. And that's not separating me from the attachment of God. I am God. God is in me. God is in everybody and everything. It's like a current of energy just going through everything. So if I'm connected, I can tap in with God at any point in time, my higher power. But remembering that higher power also resides inside of me, so that I'm not just leaving everything externally to take care of my world. And so I like to keep that in mind, because we're all like our own planets, just revolving around other planets. And if you want to go to a cellular level, then we're all cells, just revolving and moving around other cells. One thing I learned when I was taking human anatomy, when I learned that cells have little like digestive systems, there are cells that go to work every day and perform certain functions. This blew my mind. I don't know how it doesn't blow other people's mind, but science does something for me. And when I learned that cells go to work and have functions, and all of these components make up me, all of these trillions of cells inside of my body, and that there's good and bad cells in your body, just like there's good and bad people. There's police cells, right? Phagocytes, cells that eat, some of the bad bacteria and things like that on your body. This is amazing, because this means that my body is its own ecosystem. It's its own globe. It's its own world. Yet at the same time, I'm standing on the world in another ecosystem, in a city, inside of a state, on a continent, on a globe, in the solar system, in the galaxy. Man, this is right up my lane. So if you want to know what the niche is, this is right up the lane. And I'm just happy to be able just to give some sort of perspective. Maybe I don't speak as eloquently as some other people, but I hope that this little jewel gave you some sort of reflection, you know, or made you reflect or have at least some thoughts. And if it did, leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. Good information, man. He really did his thing. And I appreciate that. I love learning. You know, I give it up for the higher power each day. As you know, I meditate, take my daily walks, you know, get my 5, 10, 30 minutes of time to sit with myself. And I hope that you do the same thing. Life can be erratic. You might not have time or the ability to be able to get away from those kids sometimes, or to get away from your boss or people at work. You might need to just sneak off and just take 5 minutes and don't talk. Don't think anything, just breathe. Let your thoughts come in and out and pass through your body. Let your emotions come through and go out of your body, because emotions are just energy motions, right? They're waves just moving in and out. If you were stressed out today, I hope that you having a better day from listening to me right here on the Worthy Network. It's your boy, the one, not the two. How can I be two when I'm number one? Hottest under the sun. And if you just heard what my boy Stevie Briggs was saying, then you know that he was saying that Jesus is just an allegory for the sun. But I don't want to, ruffle any religious feathers, man. But let's not just read everything at face value, because it's a deeper understanding for you and for me. And it's one that lets you know that you are worthy. You were born worthy. That's why you are here. You're experiencing life because you are here for a purpose. And regardless of where you stand on the spectrum, regardless where your social economic status is, regardless of what you have or do not have, you have everything you need. You are equipped with all of the tools you need to be right here. You don't have to be like me. I don't have to be like you. But you should be true. You should be true to yourself, true to your family. Keep God first. You know, if you don't believe in God, keep you first, but God is in you. And if you don't believe that, if you just believe in, natural selection, and that you are just here, just, existing because of the right components being in the right place at the right time, even though I don't believe in coincidence, well, walk on what you believe in. I'll walk on mine. I'll stand on my own till you stand on yours. I'm not here to knock your religious beliefs or how you navigate your daily life. All I'm here to do is let you know that you have everything you need to succeed. And with that being said, remember that you are worthy always. You are never not worthy. So let's take that in stride and, keep it pushing. Another one for the books. I stuttered a little bit. Another one for the books. Let's go. Meditation, dedication, drink water, and stay blessed. Yeah.